Hey guys, today I'm going to show you my process for doing silicone molds. These here are my 3D printed silicone mold boxes, which you can get the print file on my website, which I'll put in the description. And they're open bottom, and at the bottom they have a little lip. And what that is for is to connect them to laminating sheets. And laminating sheets are pretty cheap. These are about 12 bucks for 50 of them. And what I'll do is I'll pick whatever size that I'm going to use for my mold box. And then cut a laminating sheet to size. And then I have a piece of cardboard here just for moving it around more easily. And this is actually my second time trying to do a silicone mold of these inlay ring templates. And the first time it failed because there's a bit of an undercut on the inlay of the ring, which, by the way, I printed these in SLA on the Spark Maker and then sanded each of the rings down to a fine polish. And so anyway, this is my second time creating this particular silicone mold, because the first one with the undercuts, it had a lot of air bubbles that were kind of trapped under the undercuts. And this time I'm going to try to transfer it to my pressure pot and keep it under pressure for about 2 days. So I'm going to separate my laminating sheet, which always takes me a minute. And the laminated sheets seem to stick to PLA really well, so I don't typically use any hot glue or anything like that. We'll see if this one works as well. And you want to make sure there's a good seal. Kind of check the bottom. Because if there isn't a good seal, it will leak. And that'll be a pain. Okay. Give me a minute to arrange these rings. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to arrange these in the mold pretty closely together. I just want to try to move this one a little bit. I did get it to move a little. And I'm going to press these down to make sure there's a good seal between the part and the laminating paper. One more. Kind of push down on the mold box a little bit. So now I'm going to mix up my silicone. This is SRC, Specialty Resonant Chemical, platinum cured silicone, which is a 1-to-1 with a 40-minute work time, 8 hours cure, which is not really, I mean, it takes about 2 days to really fully cure. But anyway, let's mix up about 250 grams. So I'm going to do 125 of each part. $124.83, that's close enough. And I typically do the thinner side first, and then the thicker side. And this is platinum silicone, so I'm going to use a butter knife to stir it. And this will take a few minutes. If you use the wrong materials, like, I don't know, I guess popsicle sticks and stuff like that, with the platinum silicone, it won't cure. But I typically use glass for my mixing cup and some kind of steel to mix with, just to make sure. And then I think most plastics are fine too. So I've never had a problem with the PLA or anything like that, or the SLA of those rings. That seems fine. My table isn't exactly level, but I'm going to pour into each ring individually, and then I'll kind of pour in the middle. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, didn't leak around the edges or anything. I'm not saying 100% it won't, but so far I haven't had any issues with it. The laminating glue seems to stick to the PLA really well. And again, if you print on 3D, you can get the print file from my website. I'm also going to sell the PLA printed model for people who want to buy them that way. And I'm going to go throw this in the pressure pot, and we'll check back again in 2 days. Okay, so it's been 2 days later, and I've taken the mold out of the pressure pot. Let's see how it did. Those laminating sheets really bond well. Okay. So far, it looks pretty good. We'll save this for next time. And I want to be pretty careful about taking the rings out to ensure I don't tear the finer pieces of the mold. I'm slowly separating each edge. And I don't know how well you can see that, but the mold does look pretty close to perfect. I don't see any air bubbles or any tears. So I think at least for smaller parts, you probably want to, smaller parts with undercuts, you probably want to do this in a vacuum chamber. But I think for most molds, you're not going to need it. Okay. And that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching.